In this video, I'm gonna show you an unconventional way how I bring water to my RV park without using a typical well. We're gonna break it down on the whiteboard, so stay tuned. Let's get to it. All right, so here on the whiteboard, we have my RV park water system, and I'm gonna break down kind of the big parts of infrastructure and how this whole water system works at my RV park. So first and foremost, we have a water tank. We have a bladder tank, which is also called a pressure tank. We have a pump that pumps the bladder tank, and that pump connects to each RV spot. Now, on the other side, we have a truck that we use. We have a tote that carries water with a trailer, and then we have the city water, which gets its water from the government. And that's pretty much the rundown how it works. So first and foremost, with the water tank, we have a 6,000 gallon water tank. Now, according to the county that we're in, we talked to them, and they pretty much calculated that the average RVer will use about 50 gallons of water a day. So if you have, let's say you have 10 renters and they're using 50 gallons of water a day, that's 500 gallons a day. So keep in mind the math there and how many loads and how many runs you're gonna have to do. The bigger the tank, the better. You'll have to do less runs if you have more of a storage. So we chose to go with the 6,000 gallon water tank. Your choice is for yours and your budget. We wanted something that could hold a lot of water just in case something happens. We want to have a little extra reserve in there. So we started with a 6,000 gallon water tank. Going down to the cost there, the water tank was $1,600. Now that's a steal. I actually found that on Facebook Marketplace. You can look on Craigslist, you can look on Facebook Marketplace, even drive around, look at local water tank stores around your area. Some people sell them kind of as private businesses, but you need to find a water tank if you're gonna do this. I found mine for $1,600. If this was new, the 6,000 gallon water tank, it could be, anywhere from like $5,000 to $10,000. So keep that in mind. It's still gonna be less than a regular well, but could get pricey. So if you can find a used one, that's the best bet. Next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna get your pressure tank or your bladder tank. Now, real quickly, what a bladder tank does, it connects to your water tank and it essentially evens out all the water pressure for every RV spot. It has like a little diaphragm inside of it, and it adjusts essentially with wherever the water is going out. So if you have renters that are using some water in different spots they're not, it'll pretty much just even all that water pressure, and it'll keep the water pressure strong at each RV spot. So this is really, really important. But the specific one that I got, it's called a Water Worker. That's the name of the brand. It's a blue container. It's like a blue tank. I think it's like 86 gallons, and you can get them at you can get them online. You can get them at I think Ace Hardware or Home Depot. But my specific brand is a Water Worker, and those run for $570 for the pressure tank. Next up, connected to the pressure tank is a pump. Now I have just a regular tank pump. It's like $350. Once again, you can find these in Ace Hardware. You can find them online. Just any kind of pump that can connect to the pressure tank, because the pressure tank has to keep running all day long, 24/7. It never stops running. Now it adjusts to whatever's going on at the park, but it's always connected to the pump, which the pump then connects to each RV spot. But that was roughly about $350. Next, you're going to need a truck. Whatever kind of truck you have, as long as it can carry some water on the back, so it's got to have decent amount of strength to it, decent amount of pull. It doesn't have to be over the top though. Our truck's not that big. You're gonna need a tote. I just have a 500 gallon tote, and I just make multiple trips a week. So I make probably, I don't know, like 3 or 4 trips a week. Some days the whole day is spent just filling up the tank. So I'll maybe do 6 or 7 trips that day and fill up the tank quite a bit. And then whenever I need more, I'll just go back. But keep in mind, you want to keep extra storage in your water tank, because I've had many times where a pipe will burst and the only water that remains is what's in the storage, and it's slowly leaking until you get that burst fixed. So keep that in mind. The bigger the tank, the better. But I usually do, I don't know, maybe like 4 runs a week. So just you're gonna need to get a tote and a trailer, or you could just put the tote on the back of the truck. And then last up, you're gonna need to have a city water or county water, municipal water. A lot of big cities and big towns in the United States have city water, which is already regulated. In Texas, you gotta have regulated water for your tenants, which city water is already regulated. Now, the nice thing about city water, it's very cheap. My water only costs about $20 a month. That's because for every 8,000 gallons, it's $22 according to the city water that we use. And the city water gets it from the government, so it's already regulated. So that's the nice part. So pretty much that's what we do is we have the truck, we bring it down to the city water, we fill up the tote, we bring the tote back to the water tank that we have, the 6,000 gallon water tank. We just actually put a pump inside of the tote that also has an extended in that we put into the water tank, and we just fill it up until it's full. And then the bladder tank pretty much regulates all the pressure, which is generated by a pump, and then that goes to each RV lot. And that's pretty much it. The gas to get back and forth is only about $100 a month, so it's not a crazy amount. And like I said, the water is only about $20 a month. So think about these costs compared to a regular well that you would get. It'd probably be anywhere from like $20,000 to $25,000, whereas this, we're not even above $2,500 yet. So big difference. Now I will say that this whole water system comes with a lot more labor. It's I've had the pipes burst many times. It's kind of just a learning curve. You learn what works and what doesn't. So just be ready for that. But this is what I use, and I actually plan to, because the thing is where I'm at right now, we're in a bad drought, and so wells are drying up. And so our mode of approach is to just kind of expand on this. So we're gonna get a bigger truck, we're gonna get a bigger tote, we're probably gonna get another water tank, and we're just gonna essentially 5 or 10x this model, but with more RV spots. So think about it for your RV park. This might be something of interest for you. I know you guys have commented about my water system and what I do. This is kind of what I do in the long scheme of things, and it works pretty well. What I'm planning to do actually for this, because this is so laborious having to go back and forth constantly, I'm actually just going to hire my property manager to start doing runs for me, and I'll just pay him a salary to do it. And that'll actually in the long run save me more than if I get a commercial well. So you can do this on a bigger scale, you can do this on a smaller scale. Keep in mind though, as you have more RVers, you are going to need to have your water in which you're picking it up, because if you're getting city water, the city water is already regulated, which is great. But then if you're like, so for instance in Texas, this is where it kind of gets a little complicated, but after you have more than 14 spots, you need to have you're considered a public water system. So you need to either get a commercial well, or you need to have the mode in which you're delivering the water needs to be regulated. You're almost considered now a public water distributor. So you need to go through a certain regulatory system in which they are checking your water that you're carrying it with, your tote essentially, and your truck, to make sure that you're up to standards for them. This water here is already regulated, so that's good, but they need to make sure that your tote and your mode of transportation is regulated if you are going to be what's called a distributor of water. So keep that in mind. You need to get like some licenses and stuff like that. Different for every state. I don't know what it's like where you're at. In Texas, that's kind of a very quickly broken down scenario. But this is my water system. Hopefully you got some value out of it. If you did, make sure to like this video. I'm going to put to the side here a little playlist of all the RV park videos that I've made. Check those out. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more RV park videos. I like sharing them with you guys. It's exciting. I hope you are well on your journey. I know a lot of you guys are messaging me and commenting me, and I just don't have the time to get back to you guys, so I apologize. But hopefully I can answer some of your questions through these videos. But thanks again. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching.